Alright guys, it's Friday. Thought I would do a review. Probably wondering why I'm pointing the camera at the Showdown on Little Tokyo soundtrack. Yes, it's a very rare CD. It wasn't released in Japan. It was released in the US for some reason. I wish they did release it in Japan. I have the tape too. The audio cassette tape from 1991, also very rare. But this is not the reason why I'm pointing this camera at the CD. I want you guys to look at the artwork. Very nice, beautiful, colorful, very simple. 3 images. The Yakuza boss in the back, Brandon, Dolph Lundgren. Okay? So now, this is the reason why. I designed this myself. This is Showdown on Little Tokyo on vinyl for the very first time. I only made 1 copy. Actually, 2, and I'll explain why. I designed this myself using a smartphone app. The resolution on the app wasn't that great. So what I had to do was I had to send the images to my friend of the design that I made. So I made this whole design, right? I had used like cut and paste images. And then the resolution wasn't wasn't sharp, so I had to send it to my friend because I don't want to print something out that's going to be blurry. He does Photoshop, and I told him I want these images that I sent you to look just like this design screenshot that I'm sending you. So if you can put them together just like I did in my screenshot of my design, just enhance the resolution so it's sharp so I can print it. He did just that. Like I said, this is my design. I've got the photos of when I made it, and it just came out beautiful. I was brainstorming for ideas. It only took me about 5-10 minutes to come up with this, and it just came out beautiful. I mean, I really think this came out more beautiful than the actual official artwork. There's just much more going on here. I chose to put him in the back, larger than Dolph Lundgren and Brandon, just like they did kind of on the original American artwork, where he's in the back of them and he's larger. Kind of the same idea, but different. And I wanted to have the buildings at night, downtown LA, in front of him. The skyscrapers. I wanted to give it like a real like dark, but kind of a like gangster look. Like he's ruling the city. Like he's bigger than the city. He runs the city. He's the, you know, the big boss, the Yakuza boss. I went with the kind of a bluish gray with smoke in the back. Not smoke, clouds, I'm sorry, cloudy background, because I wanted to have the buildings stand out. If I gave it just a pitch black sky, the buildings wouldn't show up as well. So that's why I did that. I put the nice bright yellow. I looked for a good Warner Brothers logo to go on there, and that one's beautiful. I wanted that to the right. The title to the left with the motion picture soundtrack and the actors' names in yellow. And then I got Brandon kicking. I chose this image because most of the images from this film were either promotional shots that were cropped from like the waist up or something like that, or screenshots that were kind of blurry, that were not full images. This one, the original photo, the foot is cropped. So, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I put that on there. And then Dolph Lundgren here in the samurai outfit, and I wanted it to kind of look like at the end scene when they're gonna kill the Yakuza boss, played by Cary Togawa. And then there's the Little Tokyo sign. You're probably wondering why it's in the middle of the street. Well, if you notice, it's slightly translucent. The reason I did that is because I wanted it to have reflections of Little Tokyo, and that's the perfect object, I think, to put there to give you that vibe. And then I wanted the kind of the city look of LA. So the street was actually not even part of the buildings. That was a separate photo that I cut the trees off. I cropped the trees off and then pasted it on the bottom of the buildings. And as music by David Michael Frank. So I wanted to point something out. The A is supposed to be before the E. Just so if someone catches that. I already have the I already have the jacket corrected and being sent to me. I have the file so I can print it out anytime I want. But the reason I showed you guys this now is because I had another one of these records made with the corrected name of David Michael Frank. And I'm gonna keep that one mint and non-played and, you know, like a collector's piece. And this is gonna be the one that I pull out and play when I wanna listen to it. I mean, records, they'll last you 100,000 plays. You're not gonna play the record that much in your lifetime, but I just thought I would do so. I'm gonna flip this around and show you my back design. So here's the back design of my jacket. And I chose this Japanese pagoda from Japan. And I used the alternate poster art with Brandon with the gun. Rare shot of Brandon right there. I thought I would put that on the back just to give like different images. And there's Dolph Lundgren, music by David Michael Frank in yellow. Tracks are right dead in the center, which is really cool. And then I looked for this pagoda because I liked the way it looked and I wanted them in the middle, but I had to look for one at night. So the Showdown and Little Tokyo letters would stand out, and then also the red would stand out more. So beautiful. I love the way the back of that looks as well. I'll flip this around, show you guys my custom record now. So here's the custom record. This was made in 180 gram vinyl, so it's real thick, just like my two previous records that I made, Warrior's Journey and Bruce and G.O.D. I picked a beautiful color. I know I love red, that's my favorite color, but I chose red because it went with the theme, the whole Japanese theme, and then the red Showdown and Little Tokyo, the title, the logo, and Brandon and Dolph Lundgren in the original poster art. I chose that image of them, and I wanted the city in the back of them, so I made this custom label and the Warner Brothers logo. Give it a more of an official look. This is a 33 1/3 RPM, unlike my last two that were 45 RPMs, because the tracks were so short on those ones. This one is like, the tracks are a bit longer. It's got 16 tracks, so it's 33 1/3 to get the best sound quality. So there's side A, tracks 1 through 8, and side B has tracks 9 through 16. And the person who did this for me, he is a sound engineer. He does vinyl records, and I gave him the digital tracks from the CD, and then he ported the digital tracks to analog, and it came out beautiful. I mean, the sound on this thing is amazing, just like Warrior's Journey. That's what I love about vinyl over CDs. CDs sound have a real, you know, they're clear, you hear clarity, but they sound pre-recorded, almost like they're echoing in a hallway. With vinyl, there's nothing like a stylus hitting the grooves. You can hear the basses are deeper and louder. The highs sound higher, more clear, and the instruments sound more lifelike. Like you can get a chair, I sit right in between my speakers, and it sounds like, literally like they're playing the music right in front of you. It doesn't sound like, oh, I can tell this is recorded. It sounds like nearly close to live as you're gonna get. It's just beautiful, the mastering on this. 180 gram, real thick vinyl, high quality, okay? One thing I wanted to go over, I hear, you know, some collectors that buy records, they think that these records that are, you know, maybe 30, anywhere from 1 to, you know, to under 100 are pressings. Well, they're not really pressings. They're lathe cut. A lathe machine cuts the grooves into the vinyl blank. And what it does is it'll either vibrate off the music that's playing from like a master tape or some type of master recording or an actual live recording, and the vibrations of the music will the lathe will go based off those vibrations and will cut the grooves into the record. Okay, that's with the pressings. They're made by a pressing plates. So side A has a pressing plate, side B has a pressing plate, and how the pressing plates are made, when records go into production and they're mass produced, record companies are going to invest money in record pressing plates. because it's quicker. It's more efficient to manufacture records that way. So they'll go through the process of a lathe cutting the grooves into the side A pressing plate and then side B pressing plate. Once the grooves are cut into those pressing plates, it's a long process and it's expensive. Record production is pretty smooth sailing from there. They can they put the plate, pressing plate A on a press, and it'll just press down on the blank, and they'll do the same thing with side B, and that's how you get mass-produced records pumping out by the masses. With small number limited records that are very, very limited, 30 or 40 or anything like that, they're going to use a lathe. They're not going to take the time and the process to make a pressing plate, and they're not going to spend the money. It's expensive to make one. So they'll just cut them directly with the lathe onto the vinyl blank. So this is a lathe cut. And I wanted to go over this. I had a bonus item made, and it's a slip mat of my record label design. So I wanted to throw that in there as a bonus, just to give it a bit more of a pop to the record. I got the Michael Jackson Thriller Target exclusive, and that came with a Michael Jackson slip mat. So I thought that would be cool, a little bonus item to throw in there. What I like about this guy that makes the records, he gives me the black inner sleeve for the record. I don't like the white ones. The black ones just have more of a nice look and quality, kind of a quality look to them. So that's it. Showdown a Little Tokyo for the first time. I have another one coming in just with that little small correction. That's going to be my one to, keep mint. And this is going to be my one to play. And I mean, this just came out gorgeous. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better than the original. If you look at this artwork and then you look at that artwork, I mean, it's like night and day. But yeah, that's it. This is my third creation, my third masterpiece record, and I'm glad to have showed you guys this record. I'm going to play it after the video for you guys so you can hear it. Thank you very much.